Go.
Now?
Yes, go now. Go now.
Welcome.
I'm in my position.
Welcome to a date with Jenny
and Tate.
We're talking about midlife now.
Yeah, because we're both in midlife.
Have you ever had a crisis?
Well, I don't think so. I've perhaps had a dip.
Okay.
A midlife dip. I would say midlife is from 40 to 60. So we're right in the middle of it.
5 ways to prevent a midlife crisis. 1, bring play into your life. 2, connect more deeply with your spouse or partner. 3, connect more deeply with yourself. 4, take a trip by yourself. And 5, do something that you've always wanted to do, but you've never allowed yourself to do.
Okay, let's dig into each of these.
Yes.
So let's start with
play. Remember that time when we were in the middle of a meeting?
Yes.
A business meeting.
Yes, this was just like 2 days ago.
And we broke out into song, The Greatest Love of All.
Yeah, we were struggling a little bit. We were working through some tough stuff, and I could tell that we were starting to get frustrated. And then I made some mention of the children.
Because we're doing children too.
I'm like, we have to do it for the children. And then we broke out into, I believe the children are our future. Treat them well.
You know, as it goes.
As you do. And we sing the whole song, and we were so surprised that we knew all of the lyrics. And I said, Jenny, how do we know all of the lyrics?
It's just deep in there.
It's because we're in midlife, right? So all of you other midlife folks will also know all the lyrics to that song.
And so bringing play in like that, like in a very strange, maybe surprising way, is great because it reminds us that we're still youthful. I mean, whatever's happening to the skin suit, we don't really change inside. We don't have to stop playing. We don't have to stop being silly.
Right. Midlife is that point where you get to really lean into who you are and no longer act in a way that's going to please everyone else. It's really your opportunity to be like, this is who I am. I'm not for everyone.
This is when you say,
yes, I'm not for everyone. There's no way I could possibly ever be for everyone. But I think when we're in our 20s and 30s, we're like, I'm going to be this for this and this for this and this for this. And it's like 40s and 50s, you're like, nope, I'm just going to be
me. And, you know, if there's a little weird in there, let that weird out.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's play.
Yeah. So play / let the weird out.
Yes.
Is number 1.
Thank you for clarifying. Yeah. Number 2, connect more with your loved ones, especially your partner or spouse. Because this is a time when if you have kids and a job, it's easier and easier to just keep slowly disconnecting. It's a really slippery slope. And just being married doesn't mean that you're going to stay together. It's not a fail-safe. You can get divorced. So to just kind of rest on, well, we're married, I'm protected, that's not going to do it. The only thing that you can rely on is every day making the effort to connect and communicate and fight for the relationship and defend the relationship. That you can rely on because you have control over. So
I love that. And I would say that if you don't have a spouse or partner, friendships, lean into those friendships. And I was thinking about my husband and I, we are definitely each other's like hype man. You know, I notice this all the time. Like he's always hyping me up to not only our child, but if we're out and about, he's always like my hype man. I'm always his hype man. So that's...
And my partner and I, we always say we're each other's biggest fans.
Yeah.
And we're always celebrating each other. Yeah. And if we don't, midlife crisis ends in divorce. You know, that's a common one. We know or affairs.
Yeah.
That's how affairs happen.
It's kind of like the archetypal midlife crisis.
Yeah. 3, connect more with yourself. What is my why? What is my value? What is my purpose? And care for that person. If we're just running around, we can easily catastrophize. It can seem like we've done nothing. We don't even know ourselves. So adding in some contemplative practices to go inward and connect more deeply with oneself.
Yes. And I think midlife, again, is that perfect time to maybe do a values inventory. So I imagine this, person in the laboratory observing me throughout my day. Would this outside observer think that I value just like scrolling through my phone? Or would they think I value human connection, social justice, learning new things, creativity, being out in nature? Can you narrow the gap between your actions and intentions or your actions and your values? So you're really living your values.
And we can't do that if we're not taking that quiet time. So those contemplative practices to look inward, quiet the mind so all that wisdom and clarity can come up and out. Number 4, take a trip by yourself.
Oh, that's the best.
This is not a trip to go hunting for someone to have sex with other than your partner. That's not what I mean. This is not a drinking, partying, let's go get lap dances kind of situation.
Wow, okay.
Which I think people who are in a marriage and like feeling angst might want to do if they hear take a trip by yourself.
Right.
This is a self-exploratory trip. It could be led or guided. I think like a guided retreat or hiking the Appalachian Trail or something that involves activity, physical activity, and quiet, and possibly led by experts. Because if you're just go to a beach for a week on your own, if you don't have years of training, it's going to be really hard for you to know what to do with yourself. Yeah. You might be like, what do I do with all this unstructured time? How am I really going to look inward and figure anything out? So those are recommendations, be guided. But this is when you can figure out like, what do I like? Who am I? When you have the space away from partner, kids, work, chores, what do I like to do with quiet time? You might realize, I used to write poems. I love writing poems. I love dancing. I love biking. There's so many things that we lose about ourselves when we're living constantly in this family or community or work life.
I took my first solo trip right before having my first child. What I wanted was to go into having this child with intention, right? Like an intention for how I wanted to parent. So I went on this guided meditation and like inner exploration retreat, and it was profoundly transformative. So
nice.
I recommend it.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Number 5, do something that you've always wanted to do but never allowed yourself because of kids, family, work, time. There's never going to be enough time unless you make it. So you can continue to make that excuse until you're 75, 80, and then you're not going to have necessarily the mobility. I mean, hopefully you do, but maybe not, to do the things you want to do, or the physical energy. If you have something like you're going to write this cookbook, or you're going to go back and get your master's, or you're going to pick up guitar, or whatever it is that you don't want to be in your deathbed wishing that you would have done, just decide to do it, and your life will work around it. The impossible will become possible.
Yeah, the worst thing is to wait for the right time.
Yeah.
It's never the right time. If I would have waited for the right time to get my PhD, to have a child, to get married, to start a new business, never would have done any of those things.
Just got to jump. And that kind of angst and regret is definitely another trigger that can slip you into a midlife crisis and all the suffering that goes with it. So this is all just to help you prevent your emotional suffering, your families, your kids. If you allow yourself to slip into a midlife crisis, it could lead to losing money, family, your kids, your house. So I hope this is helpful.
Yeah, and a midlife crisis is not predetermined. You do not have to have it. There are plenty of actions that you can take today that is going to sort of set yourself up for opening up a really cool world of possibilities for this second half of the life, where you can be more authentic and really lean into who you are and what you believe, and care a lot less about pleasing everyone else.
And with that, let's close with I decided
long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I
live as I
Why do we do this?
Because I think you got the point.
Oh
you
my
got the point.
We love singing, but we do not see ourselves as singers. So, well, Jenny perhaps does. I can't carry a tune, but
What?
but I enjoy doing it. Bye, everyone. I shouldn't have said I had a dip.
Why?
I don't know.
You're fine.
Okay, good. And I have to say that
Keep it snappy, Tate.
oh, I'm not good at snappy.
Come on.
I'm not good at snappy.
Keep going. So 5 ways. 1.
Wait, do that again. Hold on. I gotta be in my same position for the cut.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Continuity.